America tonight, the people are waiting to learn whom they have chosen to govern them for the next 4 years. Towards midnight, the final results are announced.
It's Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm John D. Babcock III, in for Brian Troxel, who is going to remain in hiding until the results of this election are known. So, quite a while now. Quite a while. We won't see Brian for quite a while. Anyway, speaking of the 2024 election, let's take a look at the returns. There aren't any. No, we have 0% of the precincts reporting, and the two leading candidates are both at 0 and 0. Kind of like the first quarter of Sunday's game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, sports. But one thing is certain. It is going to be a while before any of us know the outcome, the true outcome of this election. And one person who will never know the outcome of this election is co-founder of Home Depot, Bernie Marcus, because the man died today at 95. Now, that may be a little curt way of delivering that news, but so be it.
I'm Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard. We've heard from undecided voters on where they feel the candidates stand on the issues that matter to them. But we've not heard from the truly undecided voter. And I'm not talking about independent voters who are not affiliated with any political party. I'm talking about the truly independent voter, my cat Noodle. Let's get right to this hard-hitting exclusive interview. Noodle, I'm here to talk to you about the presidential election and your thoughts about... Well, my cat doesn't care about the election. Somehow I'm not surprised. For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard.
Thank you, Tim. And thank you, everybody who came out this past weekend to see Les Mis America. Two fantastic sold-out crowds got to see the fantastic performers bring down the house, the master of the house. Congratulations to everyone involved in the productions. Way to go. Excellent work. And if you missed it, don't worry. There's another Sketchworks show coming up this weekend, and then the weekend after that. That's right, Sketchworks ABC, Adults Being Children, a brand new sketch show that incorporates sketches written by our kids camp. So there's a little contest to figure out, hey, did a kid write that? Did an adult write that? Like a kid. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, you can check that out November 8th, November 9th, November 15th, and November 16th at Limelight Theater in the heart of Atlanta's Comedy Theater District. Get your tickets today at sketchworkscomedy.com. That website again, sketchworkscomedy.com. And now, the plug. While the 2024 presidential election dominates the headlines, there is other news. And we're going to bring those other headlines to you right now as soon as I get my... There it is. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers have accepted a new contract with Boeing, ending their strike, which lasted approximately 2 months. Hooray, management said. Now our workers can return to make more of our shoddy Boeing airplanes. They said. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, or FERC, has rejected a request by Amazon to tap into a Pennsylvania nuclear power plant for additional energy. Sources say the bid was refused because Bezos has been giving off serious Lex Luthor vibes. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University, it's easy for me to say, have developed a text messaging program for parents to prevent obesity in their children. How it works is parents will receive an alert 3 times a day reminding them to send a text to their children to tell them they're fat. Tough love. And NBC announced who Hoda Kotb's replacement will be on the 3rd hour of the Today Show. Starting in January 2025, look for the third hour of the Today Show to be hosted by Jenna Bush Hager and Julie Nixon Eisenhower. There they are. Older picture of Julie Nixon Eisenhower, but nevertheless, because they want to keep with the presidential kid theme. Jenna Bush Hager, Julie Nixon Eisenhower. That's what they wanted. And speaking of presidents, this election has been unseasonably close. We go now live to NewsBrake correspondent and former political science minor, Allie O'Neill, for the Inside Scoop.
Brian, I'm here at election headquarters, and as you know, this race has been incredibly tight, but we're ready. We're pretty confident. We are going to go ahead and call this election for President Trump. Yes, that's right. This is absolutely historic. This hasn't happened since I'm finding out now that we have decided to call it for Kamala Harris. Yes, this is even more historic because this hasn't happened. Oh, all right, they're telling me that it's Trump again. Okay, so back in what year was it? He had been president and then he took some time off and then he came back. Anyway, it happened before once. It's been a long time, but it's happening again, folks, and that's why. They're telling me it's Kamala again now. All right, so here we go. President Kamala Harris, we're calling it. Final answer, nope, it's Trump again. You know, it kind of makes you wonder why we just spend the last several months trying to predict all of this when ultimately it doesn't matter at all. Why bother? It's kind of how I feel about everything right now.
Thank you, Allie. Two things. One, I'm not Brian. And C, it's pronounced Kamala, not Kamala. Kamala. Speaking of Kamala, she mailed in her presidential ballot some time ago to her California district. So that went in via mail. However, in Palm Beach, Florida, President Trump today, along with his wife, Melania, former FLOTUS, they arrived in person and voted in person for himself. And current President Joe Biden went in person and voted today in Delaware, where he loudly proclaimed, "Why am I on the ballot? Thought I was on this ballot. Where am I?" It's not on the ballot. But speaking of ballots and voting, I need to go do that. And it's TikTok, TikTok. So, for all of us here at Sketchworks NewsBrake, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. We hope you will too. We all hope we will be here next week. And hopefully, by that time, Brian will come out of his hole.
Now the election board begins its last duty, the counting of the votes. The figures are checked and double-checked. Then they are telephoned to headquarters.
Hello? This is Mrs. Dawson, 7th Precinct. Ready to report.